Hey guys, this is Omar from YouTube channel Shout Your Blessings. Today we're not in any of our usual studios. We are blessed by being in France. We're going to have a chat today. This is a men's health special, and I've got two wonderful guys with me today who are going to talk about their experiences. So just before I introduce you to them, I'd just like to just give thanks to God for actually making it possible that we can actually be here. And yeah, immediately next to me I have Dave Marks. Hey Dave.
Yeah, and how would you like me to introduce myself?
Sir Dave.
Lord Sprinter.
So yeah, Dave Marks and Richard Peterson. Yeah.
Yes.
This health special is about prostate cancer, and obviously we've all heard, well, I'm assuming we've all heard about it. It affects a lot of, it affects the black population more than it affects like the Caucasian. So for the Caucasians it's,
I think it's 1 in 8.
1 in 8, and for black and darker skinned people it is 1 in 4. 1 in 4.
Yeah.
So, and it's a silent killer. It is a silent killer. I mean, best case scenario, you catch it early, you're great. If you catch it late, you could use your sex life. If you catch it really, really late, you can die. So it's not something that's like you should be like messed about. And if you're in the age bracket that you're susceptible, what's the age?
For black men, it's 45. From 45.
Yeah, so from 45 upwards, you should go and get checked because you're in a catchment and you're affected. Dave, tell me your story, because I know that you've had prostate cancer.
So my story is that I was ski, cycle, do all kind of sport activities, but never been checked before. Don't go to the doctor. Don't really have any illnesses. Touch wood, never any broken bones, anything like that. And my now wife said to me, "Have you been checked for prostate cancer?" I said, No, I'm not being checked because I've never been ill. She said, "You should get checked." And that started an initial conversation. 2 months later, she asked again, "Should I get checked?" And then I went to the doctor to get checked. Went to my local GP, told him the statistics. I've not been checked for prostate cancer. First thing he asked me, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I'm feeling fine, absolutely fine." He said, "There's no need for it. Maybe you should come back. Maybe you should come back."
So, there's no need. Your doctor said there's no need.
Said there's no need. Let's have a check.
And
I went home without having a checkup, and that wasn't a very good position for me to be in, because my wife was not impressed.
I've been impressed.
And said I should have insisted that I had a checkup.
Okay.
So subsequently I went again and was told the same thing again, and decided to go private. So I went private and had a complete MOT.
So you're saying that you went twice and the doctor basically said, "No, you're fine," without even...
Wasn't keen on even doing any checks. And at the time, I didn't know what those kind of checks should be, right? So I was pretty ignorant of it at the time. So I wouldn't be able to insist on what to check. Okay. I just said, "I have prostate cancer. Can I have a checkup, please?"
How was you feeling? I mean, did you have any symptoms?
I didn't have any symptoms whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Okay, so just for our audience, what are the symptoms of prostate cancer?
So the symptoms you get is you'd want to go to the toilet more, so you'd want to urinate more. That's the early stages. But that's still not aligned to prostate cancer. That's just one of the symptoms.
And is that because of the enlarged prostate?
Yeah.
Right, so in layman's terms, so the prostate's your gland, and what happens is it actually sits on top of your urethra. So so that's the tube that you actually urinate with. And as we get older, that gets bigger. But if it starts to get like to a size where it's a problem, it squeezes on your urethra. So therefore, so you know, when you urinate, you get like a thin well, you stop. It's a week peace treatment.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
so that's an early sort of like a warning.
Yeah, it is. It is. But so for me, I had an MOT. I went private, paid substantial amount of money for that private check to check everything.
Okay.
That was diabetes, cholesterol, everything. And off the back of that, they said that my PSA was slightly higher than average. At the time, it was about 3.5.
What's a PSA?
So a PSA is an indicator as to whether or not you will have prostate cancer.
Okay.
Okay, and that's the first sort of indicator that they would use as a measurement. So typically, your PSA would be in and around, or between 0 and around 2.5. 3.5 is something not to be a major concern, but it does invite the opportunity for further checks.
And you were, what was your?
Mine was 3.7.
So just
Just
about.
borderline.
Yeah. Okay.
So from there, I was referred to a specialist, and the specialist then did some further checks, and then recommended that I had an MRI scan. And all this was in sort of timeline terms. I went private in May, had the specialist check me in July, had an MRI scan, recommended the MRI scan in October. They said that there are areas that they've got concern of, areas of concern that needs to be checked further. And I had a biopsy in the November and was diagnosed by December.
And it came back positive that you
Yes.
got prostate
Yes,
cancer.
I've got prostate cancer.
I mean, how do you feel? I mean, what effect did it have on you?
So when he told me the outcome, I was in complete shock because I didn't understand. Even to this day, I don't understand really.
So
because
no
I'm
symptoms.
healthy.
No symptoms.
None.
Nothing.
None.
Okay.
My PSA was not growing quickly, but they do need to do something. They gave me options, and I know we'll probably touch on it a bit later, but depending on your health, depending on your age, the options changes that are offered to you. So I was offered chemo, I was offered an operation procedure, or I was offered what's the third? Radiotherapy
And hormone.
and hormone.
So chemo, radiotherapy, and hormone treatment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't always get those choices.
So if you're not in good shape, so I suppose it's a bit like COVID. Like when people were dying, they said a lot of people who died during COVID had like underlying health issues. So it's the same sort of thing. If your body's not in shape, if you don't look after yourself, you're more susceptible to these diseases and cancers, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. You opted for what? What
I
did you
opted
go
for a procedure.
Okay.
And one of the first things I said to the doctor, by the time I was diagnosed in December, I just said to him, if I have the procedure, when can I ski?
Okay. The important things.
So he came back and said to me, because it's so slow growing, you could go skiing, and after skiing you could have the procedure.
Okay.
But the radiotherapy is a different treatment, and it goes over a longer period of time. A procedure takes half a day.
Right. So obviously, you was told, and it had an effect on your life. Even now, you can't quite understand why you're in this situation.
I'm classified as a cancer survivor, so I get checked every 6 months now for the rest of my life.
And so it's affected your life, obviously. Not
Not now. Now that I've had the procedure, now I've recovered completely. I could do everything I could do before. I can now do.
Okay. So obviously you're not alone. You're married. I mean, how did this affect your lovely wife?
I think she was more worried about how I would manage it and how she would take. She was there to support me through this, and she has done.
Okay. Hello, Richard. You've been a bit quiet over there. So Richard, I mean, you've got a tale to tell as well.
Yes. Well, my story actually leads on from Dave, because when we were skiing, we was on the ski lift chair, and he said to me that he's having a procedure to have his prostate removed.
So you were skiing?
Yeah, you're skiing. You're skiing.
So this is sorry.
Yeah, no, go on.
So when I said I was having my procedure after skiing,
Yeah.
so while we was skiing on the chairlift, I was told Richard.
Okay.
And that's how, because I told him I didn't know what the prostate is or was really, or ignorant of it. You know, so when he told me, and he said, you know, I've either been checked. I said, well, no, not really, been checked. So when I got back to the UK, I went to my GP, and I said, you know, can I have a PSA? And he went, well, you're a bit young for that, you're a bit young. And I went, well, I explained my friend, he's having the procedure, and you know, one in 4 black men has the disease. So maybe he sort of just trying in his chair, checked my ID. Oh yeah, you're in your
You're old enough.
Yeah, old enough just about. And yeah, so he sent away for my PSA, and then maybe about a week later, it was on a Saturday. I don't normally get a call from the GP, and he said to me, my PSA is 23.5.
So,
And the way you're talking, he said, have I got any symptoms? Am I okay? And I was going, yeah, I'm fine. I'm all right. I'm all right. You know, because I was in the bike shop in Beckenham. I was getting my bike done. So he said, well, I'm going to have to fast track you to the Kings. You know, to fast track it. Yeah. So within about a couple of days, I was within Kings getting all the checks done. But everything came up fine. I had a MRI scan. They said maybe it's an infection was causing the PSA to be as high. Mm-hmm.
So just to check, just as a stop. So yours was 3.7.
Mine was 3.7.
And moving slowly.
And moving slowly.
And yours was 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're still standing.
Yeah.
When he told me, I'll never forget it. Richard called me. I was on a train going into Blackfriars. I had to sit down because I couldn't even speak. So I don't know how he's able to tell me that. I don't know how he's alive. But I just couldn't understand how I could be 3.7 and Richard could be 23. That just doesn't register with me at all in terms of the level that PSA he's got, and he's still alive. But I just felt fortunate that I was able to alert him.
Oh look,
Definitely.
I mean, as you guys know, I mean, this channel is Shout Your Blessings. It's all about blessings, and it's not a coincidence that you were both on a lift. It's not a coincidence that you told him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I said you had a low level. You had it done. I mean, if that interaction didn't happen, as I said, Rich was ignorant to it, and
would have most definitely spread.
And you know, and that's how, for me, that's a blessing. That's how God moves. You know what I mean? You put you two together. You told him, and he was able to get done. So, using Kings.
Yeah, I got everything done. They said everything fine. MRI scan came back clean. They couldn't see nothing at all. But what they said, just to be sure, they would do a biopsy to just do doubly check. So I had a biopsy done, then came in for the results. Because I thought they could say, yeah, antibiotics, and they said I've got an aggressive cancer. And I want to check, ensure it's not spread to my bones and stuff like that. So I had a number of tests, like it's called a PET scan. Where you put this sort of blue dye in and check to see if there's anything has actually spread.
So it's just a full body scan.
Yeah, full body scan. Yeah. Full body scan.
Okay.
And luckily enough, it hadn't. Well, it did. So again, the same options So I went to have it removed.
So had it like so obviously had it spread into your bones, what would that mean?
Then I would have to have either chemo or radiotherapy with hormone. So so I had the procedure, and then I had a PSA check after that. Then it went down, but then it started to creep up again, which meant that even though they've removed the prostate, there's still something there.
So that's why you have the treatment every.
Yeah, well, the following year I had radiotherapy.
Okay.
I had a 6-week course, and then it went down, but it is creeping up again. Yeah.
So yours is actually kind of not buoyant, but it moves up and down.
What they said, if the trend continues, I'll have to have another course in November.
Okay. And yourself, is yours moving or is it
No,
steady?
mine's not registering at all. So
Okay.
far.
I believe, Dave, you went on holiday as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so before we went skiing, I went to holiday on a safari in South Africa.
Okay.
There was 8 couples there, right? All my brothers and sisters out there. I told them about my circumstance.
Sorry, was Martin right? I remember that. You said my brothers.
He was busy again.
Anyway, carry on.
He was
Sorry.
very busy. So we was out there. I told him about my procedure, what happened. Advised them strongly to get checked. And out of the 8 of them, 3 of them have had prostate. Right? And it's a message really for my sisters, my aunts, grandmothers. Talk to your brothers. Get them to get checked. Insist it. Do not let it go. It's so important.
So anyone who thinks that they don't need to get checked, I advise them to get checked, especially if you're black and 45. Without a doubt.
And absolutely insist that you get checked. You should insist. So every man should know their PSA level. Every man, every black man over 45 should know what their PSA level is.
110%.
They should know it. They should know the trends, whether the trends are going up, whether it's going down. But you should know what your PSA level is.
And sorry, and I was just saying, it's no longer intrusive, so it's just a blood test.
It's a blood test.
There's no rubber gloves, there's no, you know what I mean, you're not going to get rolled over. It's not about that anymore. Not about that anymore. So get yourself checked, you know what I mean?
Just get yourself checked.
Get yourself checked. YouTube channel, Shout Your Blessings. Please go in there, subscribe, look at the videos, like. Yeah?
Thank you.